What's going down, my petty peeps? I'm your host, Shannon Mack. We are back in LA. Yes, we just got back from New York. I have the most perfect guest. We had to take it all the way back to Love and Hip Hop, and she's a beautiful songstress out of Hamburg, Germany. Yup, Amina Buddafly is in the building. This episode is sponsored by Schlumberger Sparkling Wine and Goddess Body Inc., as well as Atara Bella. And please, please, please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, so you don't miss anything that I got going on. All right? Keep it locked. Welcome to the show, Miss Buddafly.
Thank you.
Toast to you
Thanks
being
for
here.
having me. I know.
Yes. How you doing?
Good. I'm excited to be here.
I'm glad you took time out of your busy schedule with your two daughters.
Oh yes, my goodness.
How are your daughters?
They're amazing. You know, they're 3 and 5 now, so it's actually a super fun age. I'm having the best time with them. But it's a lot. You know, I'm a single mom by myself with them, and yeah, it's hard to balance everything, but I kind of figured out my routines and how I balance career and mommyhood. It's fun.
How do you balance career and mommyhood? Let's just jump right into it.
You know, it's a lot of little things that I do to like balance it all out, but mainly the main thing for me, I feel like, is kids always first. That's the first thing. Like, kids come first. Their happiness, that they're straight, they're good. But then I don't neglect, you know, doing stuff for myself. It's so important. But you know,
you look great. I know you be in the gym.
Thank you.
You need to,
I'll make it happen.
Take me to the gym with you. I'm trying to get in shape too. You know, it's hot out here.
I also got lucky because actually, I've been in better shape since after I had kids than before in my life. Yeah, you know, I've always been into like working out and stuff like that. But like when I just look at like even my diet, like I don't even diet anymore. I do work out kind of a lot, but not every day. You know, it's kind of a balance thing again. So it's all in my new book, actually. I have to talk about that with you because that's actually what the book is about, how I balance everything. So I tell, you know, it's specifically for mommies and women in general that have a stressful life, not even only with kids, but in general. So I just like give little, you know, my little regimens that are so important to me that make me, give me the energy to even like do all the stuff that I do. Yeah. So yeah, I talk about those things and more.
So we're gonna get to the book in a second, but we have to rewind just a little bit. You were living in New York for a long time.
14 years.
14 years, and now you live in LA.
Right.
So you did say that you said kinda a lot working out.
Yeah, because it's like people look at me and they think, oh, she works out every day, like she's in the gym every day. But no, I would say maybe like 4 days a week.
That's good though.
Yes, but not all 4 days I go hard, you know, like, because I believe in a little goes a long way too. So some of those days I just do a little bit of yoga. I don't really sweat. And then on other days I make sure at least 1 or 2 days a week I really like give it my all and I power myself out and like, but it's not like, you know, I know some of my fitness friends, they are like every day. Like,
they make you look like you ain't doing nothing, right?
I didn't do anything today.
Do you think that being in LA though adds to that? Like,
for sure. Yeah. But I actually love it because it keeps you motivated and you look around and everything that everybody does every day, go work out, eat healthy, and like, it's at least it seems like that.
Are you vegan?
No, I'm not.
I'm surprised.
Eat everything. I eat a steak.
I'm transitioning.
You know, I want to, you know, for health reasons, and also like, you know, my older sister is a vegetarian, and it's like whenever I go to Germany, because she lives in Germany, when she cooks, and I'm like, I don't need all that, you know, unhealthy stuff. I feel the same way.
It just takes getting used to.
It does,
and
right?
preparation.
Yeah,
that's all. I was vegan like for 6 months, like strong, didn't cheat, none of that, until I went home to New York for Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
And then I see everybody on the line with a plate, and I'm like, what I'm gonna eat? This grass? No, nothing. I'm digging into this oxtail, and I'm digging into this brown stew chicken.
Good.
You know?
How did you feel after? Because isn't it like when you haven't had it for a long time?
The struggle to get back to it. Yeah. Just feeling sluggish and feeling
it's
real.
Everyone's telling me like when
it's
they
totally
have one
real.
bite, it's like
Yeah. So how long you been in LA?
Almost 4 years. It's going on 4 years.
Dang.
So it's been a while.
It doesn't feel like that long.
No, I know. People are so stuck in the past too, especially, you know, me having been on TV and stuff. People think I'm still at that point where they saw me last.
Right.
But my life, you know, life goes on, and I've done so much since then. I've overcome so much for myself. I feel like I'm a whole new person.
Yeah.
And
I feel the vibes.
Good.
I feel it. So, do I smell you being on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood?
Oh, you know, that's the number one question I get. But, you know, as of now, no. I would never say never, but I kind of like was enjoying my break from being in the public eye with my personal life, especially.
Yeah.
So, no, they have not reached out to me yet. And I haven't reached out to them because I've been so focused on just the things that I really love, that I really want to do.
Good for you.
And my kids. So who knows what the future holds, but right now, no.
Okay, so how long has it been since you've been on reality TV?
Almost 4 years.
Since you moved out here, right? Yep. Exactly.
I moved out here when I was done. I filmed my last scene. That's almost 4 years now.
So do you think being on Love and Hip Hop New York did a good thing for you or a not so good thing for you?
Both.
Okay.
100% both. But I try to focus on the good. And I do think that there's a lot of good that came from it.
Okay.
Even like me moving out here, being able to just kind of focus on getting better for a while and not like really have to look for work and stuff. Like, you know, I wouldn't have been able to do that. And take care of my kids like without any help. Wouldn't have been so easy if I didn't have that platform. Also, my fan base grew immensely, like a lot, and a lot more people are checking for my music now than I had before.
Cheers to
Nobody
that,
knew
Amina.
Who the hell I was.
Yes.
And even though a lot of people do say, oh, you ruined it with that, nobody's going to take you seriously, I believe that it all depends on who you are. And I, as an artist, believe that I've always been an artist first. It's not like I was on the show and now I decide I want to sing. Like, it came from that, from when I was born. The reason why I came to America at 19 years old is music. I had record deals before I got on the show, things like that. So I feel like if you have talent, if you're good at what you do, it does not matter it doesn't matter. And that's really how I feel. And I now starting to see, because I'm not on the show anymore, people are really kind of, seeing me for who I really am, because I really felt misunderstood a lot on that show. So that was one of the bad, that people kind of had this image of me that I didn't feel like was me.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay.
On a personal end, it was hard. It was a lot of negative. But for me, as far as my music, I think it was good.
Okay. So you did mention a few times, Amina, that you are doing the mommy thing on your own. What is going on with Peter? We got to talk about Peter.
Yes, I mean, yeah. I decided to have kids with somebody that already had 8 other kids. So
did you hold up?
It's like
you can't just say that without other
that's
questions coming along. Hold on, I don't mean to cut you off, but like, was that not a red flag? Hindsight being 2020.
But I literally being in love, like I just love so hard. So it's like I was just blind. I did not care. I just was like, and I have to say also, we didn't plan the kids. It was, it just happened, and it was what it was. And afterwards, I'm like, okay, who's really at fault? I really got to look at myself, because I didn't, I could have chosen someone else to have kids with that maybe would have been around. But things happen, and now I got to make the best of it. That's why I don't complain. But I do, it's still hard, and I'm not going to, act like everything's great.
You should complain. If you know the person can do better.
And he knows I complain to him sometimes when I feel like he could do more, he could do better. And he knows, we have our arguments. But I was the one that decided to move all the way to California. So obviously, if I was still on the East Coast, he would be around more. And I know that.
Do you think that's the reason why, though, that he's not as active as he could be?
It's a lot of different reasons, but definitely one is that we're so far away, and that is, at the end of the day, it was my decision. So I do tell him, you need to come see your kids. Like, I do tell him that, and he knows. But at the end of the day, like, I got him. He knows that too, and that's why maybe that's my mistake. Maybe that's where he feels comfortable. Like, oh, I don't need to do this or that because
Peter.
I know Amina is an amazing mom.
And I'm sure you are.
He knows that. He always says it every time I see him do interviews and stuff. So,
yeah.
You know, when you don't ask, I'm just too nice for this world. I don't know. I just feel like I don't ask for anything.
You know what it sounds like to me? That you're not requiring.
Right. That's a better word.
Him to step up to the plate.
Yeah. I don't, because I do it all by myself, and it makes me feel powerful. It makes me feel so strong. I gain a lot of my strength from raising my kids alone. And not that I want to do that, because I would love to have a man there every day. But being that I do it, it's like, I don't need nobody, you know? Like,
but it's not about you. I know I'm not trying to Ian you
right
now,
but
but you know the Corey and Bronx, it's about them
for sure.
You know, and you don't want any regrets later.
I do tell him, and we do have our arguments. That's the only thing that nowadays, like if we do argue, it's about him not, you know, putting enough effort into being around. And you know, helping. And,
but kudos to you for doing what you have to do. You know, and for being an amazing mom. You know, Bronx is in the building, y'all, and I see you. You know, you definitely seem like a great mom. But I just gotta ask a question, girl.
Okay.
What the hell is it about Peter?
Oh my goodness, that's everybody.
Is it about Peter that y'all women just be like,
goodness.
like.
You know, it's something that you can't explain, and I've said this a few times in interviews. It's like, until you hang out with him for a day, you wouldn't understand.
So was it his personality?
Yes, a lot of it. His personality and everything else, except, you know, he's just a great person and one of my favorite people that I ever met. I still say that. But he's just not somebody that can be with one woman. He's not a good husband, or, you know.
Are y'all still married?
We're finalizing the divorce.
Okay, good for you.
So it's taken years.
Yeah,
it's taken years.
I'm serious. Can we get a hand clap for Amina?
Thanks.
Yes.
It's taken years, but it's because we've been just like not on top of it.
Yeah.
You know, but we both on the same page, and he's got somebody new. And
you got somebody new. Well,
had.
Okay, hold that thought right there. We're gonna take a small, tiny, itty bitty break to touch up our makeup and our hair, you know. So we're gonna thank the sponsors, and we're gonna come right back. Don't move.
All right.
Don't move. It's about to get good. And we're back, and I just gotta send a big shout out to Goddess Body Inc. for sponsoring this episode. I know you are into your health and fitness, and Goddess Body Inc. has the Goddess Wash.
Oh, beautiful.
They have the Yoni, the JJ oil. Let me tell you about the Yoni oil real quick.
That?
Wait. So, when, you know, waxed and it's like beautiful, you know, you put that oil on. I mean, you don't have to wait, but when you put the oil on, like freshly waxed, go visit your man.
Can't wait.
I'm not saying I did that, you know, but you know, it actually works on your pH balance, and then they have like the cleanse, the herbal extract drops and stuff like that, just to promote like, it's not all about the outside.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
It's equally as important to take care of your insides, you know. And then they got the Goddess Wash and all that. It's great.
Amazing.
So I'm gonna send you home with some gifts, some goodies.
Beautiful.
So Goddess Body, they looked out for you, girl.
Goddess Body, thank you so much.
Yes. So back to our conversation.
All right.
So are you in a relationship or not?
I'm not, you know, but I've been dating over the past, I would say, year, 2 years. It took me a while to like even like be fine and be not heartbroken anymore over Peter, but I've been definitely open to dating, and I met somebody recently that I was dating for a while that I took very serious, but it didn't work out, you know. It didn't. It was the first time that I let somebody like in my space, in my kid's life, and
it takes time.
It does, but it was. I felt like it was a really genuine connection there, but I made the mistake of mixing business with
pleasure. Before we get to business and pleasure, I want to talk about, how did you rebuild your self-esteem, your self-worth? Like, how did you rebuild Amina after you got out of that hectic, you know, crazy relationship with Peter?
Literally time. I have to say, like, that was the one thing, because it doesn't matter what people tell you. People have told me all along, or just, and the main thing you always hear when you're going through something is like, oh, you got to just focus on your work, just put it in your music. But I was so broken that I couldn't even write or play piano or anything like that. So it was really difficult time for me. And I did also go see a therapist when I first moved out here and things like that. And I just kind of had to take a step back and kind of, start.
Did therapy help you at all?
I felt at the time it did. It was just, it did for a while. I only did it for a couple of months, but I did feel better every time I had a session. It was a female therapist, and I felt like good just letting it out to someone that is not one of my friends, that doesn't really know everything that happened, but she gave me some good things that she told me to practice at home, and I did, and I felt like it worked at the time, and it helped me for sure. But the main thing was just time, because you can't rush it. Yeah, you can't rush it, and you can't force yourself. Okay, now I'm gonna just try to just be positive, or like, it's just difficult, and time makes everything, every pain, everything go away. Like it makes everything better. So it took me really 2 years to be completely over it. And then I felt so free. And since then, I feel like, my last album, Mother, came out last year. And I feel like that was the beginning of the new, the new me that overcame so much. And especially like just emotionally and the heartbreak thing. Yeah. Like when I was finally healed, I feel like that's when I dropped Mother. And ever since then, I've just been so positive.
Good for you.
Yeah. And people tell me all the time, they see it, when they meet me, and like, wow, oh my God, you so, because they are used to seeing me cry and down and hurt. And
it's nice to see the happy side of it.
Right. Yeah. Right. And the good thing is I didn't need anybody new. I didn't have a new boyfriend or anyone that I was even dating for 2 years. I made sure I focused on just healing. And once that was done, then I was open to dating. Because I could have just tried to like get somebody to just, be distracted.
Right.
But
rebound.
Exactly.
Rebound person. Right. And when did you know that, yes, I'm okay, it's time?
I knew when nothing bothered me anymore. Like hearing about what Peter's doing, or who he may be dating now, or that he may be still with Tara, or whatever the case was, and it did not bother me one bit. Like,
if you could tell Peter anything right now, any one thing right now, what would it be?
As crazy as it sounds, but thank you. I thank him for like making me stronger, and at the end of the day, I don't regret it. I have 2 beautiful kids that also contribute to my happiness so much, and he gave me them. And at the end of the day, I love him as a person. I just would never want to be with him.
I'm glad you recognize this.
Right, yeah.
Self-awareness is like the biggest thing.
Definitely.
Biggest thing. So now we're going to come back to present and talk about this new guy that didn't work out with, that you mixed business with pleasure with. I don't want to say his name. I know his name.
We don't.
And I know he's not really doing the right thing right now either.
Oh no, yeah.
I got goons in New York,
it
son.
Was my fault.
I got you.
Thanks. That's good to know.
Tell me about upcoming projects that you got coming.
Yes, absolutely. I worked on a whole album this year. We started in January. And we just completed in about June. I dropped a single. It's called Been There, Done That. My second song, Drinks on Me, just came out. And as we're getting closer to the album, because I kind of wanted to drop song by song this time, but I'm so excited about my album because I feel like it's some of my best work yet. So I've been starting to do visuals and things like that. So my first video was for Drinks on Me that I just dropped recently, but I'm having some issues, keeping it up on the page because my producer that I dated decided to put some stones in my way, now that I don't want to date him anymore. And that's how guys are sometimes, when they're in their feelings.
Real petty.
Very.
Sounds like you need to come up here and let your feelings out.
Very. But
Mimosas.
Men don't admit that they're in their feelings. So
that is ridiculous.
I just know that's
who
what
called it off? You or him?
Me.
Good.
And it was never even I kind of realized that I made a mistake, and I was like, before this is too late, I was honest with him from the beginning.
Yeah.
I had multiple sit downs where I honestly told him where I stand, what I want, and what I feel, what I don't like. And I never used to do that in a relationship. I'm used to going with the flow and just kind of letting the guy guide whatever.
And I mean, you
on.
should, but there's levels.
But I'm at the point, like, my standards are also higher. Like, I don't accept the things that I used to accept from my past relationships and what people saw me allow my husband to do. Like, I don't allow those things anymore. And this is what came out, what good that came out of the situation with Peter, that now I know what I don't want and I'm not going to accept. So, with him, I was honest from the beginning. It just didn't work out. And now the music is suffering. But
It's not for long.
Yeah, not for long. I'm still working on, putting out this album, and the song "Drinks on Me" is up on iTunes and everywhere, all streaming platforms. People are loving it. So yeah, just like
from what I saw on Instagram, I was like, okay,
I've gotten a great response. I'm excited about it. So
that's what's up. But just so you know, I ain't gonna say his name, but just so you know, when you dig a hole for somebody, you better dig a hole for yourself.
Absolutely.
You ain't gonna get very far trying to plot against Miss Amina.
Thank you. Yes.
We're going to take a quick little break just to thank the sponsors, and we're going to come right back. And we're back. Big shout out to Schlumberger Sparkling Wine for sponsoring this episode. Miss Amina, I think you are drinking the classic or the brut. I think it might be the classic.
It's very good.
It's bomb, right? It's an Austrian sparkling wine. They have the brut, the classic, and the Gruner Veltliner.
Oh, Gruner Veltliner.
Oh, you say that to me? Yes.
Yeah.
Come on with the accent. Yes. So we're going to hook you up with some goodies as well. And we also have the Mozart chocolate liqueur, which actually is a great segue into the Petit or Mimosa game.
Oh.
So, Petit or Mimosa, not pedicures. Petit. Petty. Yeah, we petty up here at Pedis and Mimosas. So, you have some questions right here, right? And you're going to pick one. You're going to read it out loud. And if, you don't want to deal with our pettiness, you got a choice. You could throw a shot back if you don't want to answer the question.
Oh, gosh.
But let me tell you a little something about the questions.
Okay, what are they?
They're petty. Or they might require a petty response. So take your pick.
I see.
So if you don't want to be bothered with us, like I said, you could throw a shot back. But I'm going to throw the shot back with you.
Oh, yes.
But
All right, let's do
this
it.
liqueur, girl, I'm going to have you lit in about 5 minutes. All right, time for another game of Petit or Mimosa. Let's do it. And those are gumballs, by the way. So if you want some gumballs to take home.
Okay. Look in the camera and give Peter Gunz's future wife some advice.
Woo! You want to zoom in on Amina, Mr. Cameraman?
Wow. Wow, some advice for Peter Gunz's future wife. Don't believe what he says. Don't believe the lies.
Don't believe his lies. Don't. I'm so corny.
Oh my God. I don't know. That would be the first thing that pops into my head. Don't believe the lies.
That's good advice. Don't.
Because I really deep down didn't, but you try to keep the peace.
You had to kind of know something was off.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And that's why I hate when people say I'm stupid. No, I wasn't. I was just in love. I just stayed anyway. Yeah. Although I knew what really was
And then you
on.
ignore stuff out of fear.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose this person. Exactly. You don't want to be alone. Mm-hmm. So I understand. I do. All right, pick another one.
Oh my gosh. All right. Let's see.
Petit Mimosa.
No way.
What?
It says the name of my last boyfriend. Should I say it?
It's up to you.
Okay. No, I'm not going to say it.
Okay, don't say his name then.
My last boyfriend or Peter, who is better in bed?
I promise you, Amina, I did not create that question. It was not me.
Yeah, right.
It was not me.
Well, that's easy, Peter.
Oh, got him.
Oh my God. Hey,
okay.
Yeah.
I think I want to throw a shot back just because.
Me too.
Let's throw it back. Cheers.
Oh my God, he just spilled it all over the floor.
Sorry, did I spill it?
No,
Sorry.
I did on the floor.
We'll get it. All right. That's adult chocolate milk for you.
Yum.
All right, there's one more in there.
Okay. Oh, I have to do all three.
Might as well.
If you could turn back the Love and Hip Hop clock, who would get the gift of those hands?
Two-piece. Who you two-piecing?
What do you mean by that?
So, if you could turn back the Love and Hip Hop clock, who would you beat down to the ground? If I could turn back your clock, I know who you should. But I'm not going to.
You know, I guess everyone knows that at the time, who was I beefing with?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, because we cool now, but Tara.
Are y'all? Are y'all cool now?
Yeah.
Square up.
Oh, man, you know how many times I wish I would have, but, you know.
You know what? All I can remember is I'm his wife.
Oh, yes. At that time? No, you know what? When I should have, the time when I slept the shit out of Peter.
Oh, yes, in the kitchen.
In
the kitchen, right? You should have.
No, but I'm sorry, Sarah. No, you know, we're really cool now. So, actually, I'm glad it didn't happen, but at the time.
All right, wait, Amina, you know what? I'm not at that level of peace yet. How the hell?
We good.
How? I'm just not at that level.
I when I go to New York, I go over to her house.
Because, y'all kids are siblings.
Yeah, we're past it. You know, we both, I guess, mature enough to...
Did she say sorry? Did you say sorry? Or how did this happen?
Did we have a moment? We had a little moment in our last Love and Hip Hop scene where we didn't really say sorry to each other, but there was a hug. You know, it felt like this was a conclusion, you know. And I was never mad at her. I just didn't like how she treated me. And of course, she had all the right to be mad at me, but I think we both kind of recognized that it was Peter. So,
yes.
Yeah, we're fine now. We kind of feel like maybe we can even relate a little bit to each other because we both went through the same man. And
and you wrote a book called The Other Woman.
I did, shortly after I moved out here. And I just tell the story out of my perspective because TV left out a lot of things, and I felt like that's why I was misunderstood a lot. And I explained why I made the decisions that I made, and you know, you just get more of an insight from where I was standing. So I wrote The Other Woman. It's out on Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com. So yeah,
go get the book.
That's right.
All
The Other Woman. But yeah, me and Tara are totally fine.
Girl, I take my hat off. I take this lace front wig off for you because I don't know. Yeah. I just don't know because you know what my philosophy is? I forgive you, but we ain't gotta be friends.
Right.
I ain't coming to the crib. I'm not. I'm just.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's almost like her kids are my kids' siblings, and it's like
you probably have no choice to make peace, right?
And I just love to have them all together and seeing them play with each other. And
cute though.
And like I said, I don't blame Tara for anything because it was, you know,
because he's the common denominator.
Exactly.
Right. All right. I hear you. He was a good sport for our Petty and Mimosa game.
Yes, I answered everything.
Quick little break. We'll be right back. Got to thank the sponsor. And we're back. Big shout out to Atara Bella for sponsoring this episode. And at this point of the show, it's the Petty Person Poll. So just got a quick question for you. Throw it to social media and we throw it to you.
Okay.
Throw it to you first. So the question is, what advice can you give to two women fighting over the same man?
Oh my goodness.
Dun, dun, dun.
I never want to be in that position again. It's like, you know, it's crazy because every man I've dealt with, not only Peter, but everyone before that I've been in love with, and, you know, I was even engaged before that, there was always another woman involved, and I always felt like I had to compete. So I don't know if I'm the right one to ask, but I just don't do it. Like, you know, don't put yourself in that kind of position. Sometimes you end up in it and you didn't even really intend to get into the situation most of the time. But just at this point in my life, I'll just fall back completely.
Especially if you know he got another girl.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah.
Because you are the main choice. You are the main prize.
Oh, yes.
No need to fight over anybody. That's right. Because you are important, you are beautiful, you are valuable, and all that good stuff. So, this really is my final question.
All right.
How does God play a role in your life?
Wow. You know, I'm really absolutely not a religious person. Right. So even like growing up, like, you know, my parents, like we never we never went to church or anything. Like, we're not religious. We never prayed. So it's really something that I kind of experienced more as I came to America, because it's like everyone's all about God. And maybe I need some more of that in my life, because I'm really more spiritual.
Right.
So I don't really, I didn't grow up that way. So it's really, I believe that what is for you will be yours. And, I believe in things are happening the way they're supposed to. I believe in a power, but it's like, I just kind of have faith in me, and that's kind of where I pull it from. So so that's kind of where I'm at with it. Okay. And I love when people pray for me.
I'll pray for you.
Thanks. I love it.
You got it. So we got to toast to.
Oh, yes.
What do we have to toast to? What should we toast to? So what are we going to toast to?
I'm always for just happiness, because that's my number one thing in my life. For me and everyone I love, to be happy, and everyone around me. Happiness is like the number one thing. That's also where I pulled all of those things that kind of pulled me out of the misery. Like, it's like, because I'm striving for happiness these days, and not some kind of success as far as money or whatever. Yes, we all want that, but happiness comes from within here, and that's, I feel like, what we should toast to.
Yes, to happiness.
Yay.
Yes. Amina, thank you so much.
Thanks.
I wish you all the best.
Appreciate it.
I need that 30-day guide.
I know. I meant to bring you one.
So I can get my belly off.
For sure. No, I'll get you one. I'll send you one.
I support all your music. I think you actually really do have talent, you know, and I wish you all the best. And I hope you keep on, on the path that you're on, because it's beautiful. It's totally beautiful.
Yes.
So I'm your host, Shannon Mack, alongside the beautiful Amina Buddafly. Please make sure you stay tuned to more episodes of Pedis and Mimosas, where you never know what your favorite celebrity might reveal during a pedicure, sipping on a mimosa. And this episode was sponsored by Schlumberger Sparkling Wine and Goddess Body Inc. and not forgetting Atara Bella. Thank you guys for supporting me. I appreciate it. See you later, guys. Peace.
Bye.